Good morning, folks. Now, the question I have for black women is based on the videos I've been watching on YouTube. Now, this doesn't mean if you're a black woman from the UK or any other part of the world that you're not included in the feedback. You're more than welcome to give your feedback too. But the reason why it's aimed mostly at American black women is because I hear the feedback from mostly American black women. So that's what's kind of inspired this question. Now, as you can hear by my accent, I'm from the UK, born and raised. My parents came over in the 50s when the government invited the Commonwealth members to rebuild the country after the Second World War. So here I am. Now, I've been to America many times, mostly the East Coast, New York and Pennsylvania, and it is quite different to here in London. Now, I'm not, for time's sake, I'm not going to go into the difference, and yeah, that's another video for another day. But so the complaints I hear about black men from black women in America. Some of it is quite alien to me. Not all of it, but some of it's quite alien to me because one, I don't live in America, and two, in the dating scene, I'm somewhat outside of the box. I will explain why that is in a minute, and it's the explanation is not out of malice. I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad. It's just I will be just giving you my experience and why I am outside of the dating box regarding black women. All right, but just bear with me. Like I said, I will come to that, and it's not offensive, anything like that. Anyway, so the feedback I get from American black men in particular is the way they are treated by black men, and some black men. Some. I always, when I say a group of people, I'm always referring to some. So some black men. So the treatment tends to be negative. So the question I have is, could somebody give me an exact breakdown of the bad treatment? Give me a list of the bad treatment that you receive from black men when it comes to dating or marriage or whatever. Just give me a list, because I hear about the disrespect, I hear about the bad treatment. And yes, I'm not an imbecile. I know what bad treatment would be in terms of domestic violence, or I know what disrespect would look like in terms of someone coming on YouTube and referring to a group of women as hair hats and call them names like whores and stuff. I am not that guy. I'm not about that. I don't support that. That to me is totally disrespectful. There's a difference between constructive criticism and blatant insults. There's two different days, you know. Constructive criticism is you do this, but if you do this, you get a better results and everyone's happy. Disrespect is you're a fucking bitch. You look like this. You look like a dog's bottom. That's blatant being rude. There's no insults with no solution. Does nobody no favors. So I know about that kind of disrespect. But if you're not talking about that sort of disrespect, if there's another sort of disrespect you talk about, please list it. Because when I hear about the bad treatment that black women receive, I'm not totally familiar with what they're talking. I've got an idea, but I don't know exactly what you're talking about. And if I know exactly what you're talking about, one, the most important thing, I could look at myself and think, have I ever treated any woman like that, regardless of her colour? Two, I could advise other men, if they are doing that, and on the impact they're making by doing so. So it's the aim is to help. The aim of this video is to help. You help me, and I will try my best to help you back. Now, the reason why I'm talking about outside of the box. Now, please, I've said this before, and I've noticed it's triggered some women, and I sort of understand why they were triggered, because they may have misunderstood my motive for saying this, but there was really no malice involved at all. I was only just stating my experience. So, since my teenage years, most of the time, not all the time, most of the time, I've received a warmer welcome from women outside of my race. Right? Now, I'm not insinuating that the women who are not interested in me or who's given me a bad response are evil or the spawn of the devil. It's simply they just wasn't into me, and that's it. They're not bad, but they're not a bad person for not being into me. Okay, some of them I would class them as unpleasant, because sorry about that. If a guy politely approaches you with respect, and you take it upon yourself, to be rude and nasty to him, then you are an unpleasant person. So that's the only negative thing I've got to say about, and this is regardless of your colour. Regardless of your colour, doesn't matter what colour you are. If you're horrible to a guy just because he's approached you politely, you don't. If you're not interested, you don't have to be rude, unless he's ignored your request that you're not interested, and he continues to harass you. Then, by all means, you could be rude to him after that. But if he approaches you first politely, then I just think it's just nice to be nice and be polite. Yeah, thank you, but no thanks, and move on. Yeah. So, in regards to the black woman who's being rude, like any other woman of any other colour, they're just an unpleasant person, and you get an unpleasant cunt in every fucking race and every nation. You get an unpleasant cunt, right? So I've got nothing against a woman who's not into me, right? Fair enough. So, as a result, when it comes to the feedback that black women give about black men, I'm not familiar with it because I'm not in that camp. I don't really know what a lot of them are talking about, because most black women that I come across wouldn't give me the time of the day anyway, so I can't really relate to what they're talking about, because I'm outside of the box. The experience I have with women is very different to their dating experience. My dating experience, very different. The way how a man would treat them, I wouldn't treat a woman that way anyway. And it's just, I just live in a different existence. The black women I have dated, it's been a while, I have to admit. It's been a good few years now, but they are a similar characteristic of myself, sort of down to earth, warm, friend to everybody, not hostile, and so they don't, and plus they're from the UK, so they don't come from the inner city of Chicago or the Bronx, where they need to have this wall of protection around them to protect them from all the bad shit that comes towards them. So the black women I've dated, they haven't had that sort of threat around them, so they haven't got that sort of in them, And in terms of why I've dated mostly outside my race, unfortunately, because I've had a warmer response mostly outside my race, the consequences made me lazy. It's made me my target, say my target audience, say if I've got a group of women coming towards me, I've got a group of black women to my right and a group of non-black women to my left. Automatically, because of my experience, I'm going to focus to the women coming towards me on my left, because my experience has shown me, well, most of the time the women on my right are not into me. So I go on the automatic pilot, and where I'm at fault, I could easily be bypassing a black woman who's into me, and we would get on. But because of my experience, I've kind of gone past her, and I put my hands up. And admit, yeah, that's a flaw on my side. And at least I'm honest enough to acknowledge my flaws, you see. So that is why I'm outside of the game. When black women in America talk about the disrespects they receive, please explain, what is this disrespect? You know, because to my knowledge, the disrespect that you talk about is not something I would do to a woman anyway. Not unless she pissed me off to begin with. She'd have to piss me off. She'd have to fucking piss me off for me to be disrespectful to her in any sort of way, really, to be honest with you. Yeah, I can't really think of any other way I can put it. So just give me a list of the things that you go through if you're an American black woman. So at least I know, and with that knowledge, one, if I haven't mentioned this before, I can look at myself and think, one, have I ever treated anybody like that? And two, if I come across anyone who is treating someone like that, I can then point out the impact and the consequence of treating a woman like that. Therefore, you're helping me by telling me what you go through or have been through, and I can in return help you by help to eradicate that mistreatment you're having. So, you know, we're trying to help each other here. That's what this video is about. We're trying to, you know, you help me, I help you, and that's what a companionship should be about. You should be free and comfortable enough to approach your companion and say, you know, either, is there anything I can do to help you? Or you can come to me and, is there anything I can do to help you? Or, honey, what you're doing is annoying me. I would like you to stop and do things this way. And you could come to me and say, honey, what you're doing is annoying me. I would like you to stop. If you do this instead, I'll be happier. It's about helping each other. You see? That's what it is. That's the point of this video. We help each other. Right? Okay, right. Nice sunny day here in London, and I'm going to go enjoy the sunshine. And until next time, like I said, leave your comments, and just tell me what you go through. Just tell me. Even if it's blatantly obvious, just put it down. Okay? Thank you very much, and speak to you later. Bye.